So I wonder if no challenge poses a greater threat to future generations than climate change.
No challenge poses a greater threat to future generations than climate change. And the best scientists in the world are all telling us that our activities are changing the climate. I will not let this Congress endanger the health of our children by turning back the clock on our efforts.
You got me, Mr. President. I hate children. They're so childlike. And so the man who hates polarization claims that if you disagree with him, you want kids to suffer. No doubt he cares. He's a walking nest of love. He calls global warming the national security threat, a slap in the face to ISIS and al-Qaeda. He claimed 2014 is the warmest year on record, failing to point out that we're talking hundredths of a degree, which margin of error erases. That means most years could be number one, since temperatures were fairly constant for a decade or two. Therefore, his lie actually reveals the warming pause. But he knew that, and he still said it, assuming, like Jonathan Gruber, America's just too dumb to question his bull. He's like a car dealer who doesn't tell you about the body in the trunk, then he blames you for not asking when you're arrested. So Obama exaggerates one threat while avoiding the name of a real threat like al-Qaeda. Why is that? Well, for lefties, only America can be at fault. And the war against climate change provides the right villain, America. The threat of Islamic terror, though, requires leaders to condemn a foreign toxic ideology. And you can't do that because if there is no American culprit, then there is no American punishment, which is a big bummer for Santas of self-hate. So it's no wonder he used bad data. Without it, he'd be stuck with the truth. And that's the scariest thing of all. So, Kimberly, he actually used this piece of data that shows that there was a difference of 0.02 Celsius. Do you know what this is? This is 2/100ths of a degree, which is less than 4/100ths of degree Fahrenheit. This makes no sense. This is what he based this on. Well, it's idiotic.
Bad math. I mean, why is he bringing this up? It's because he wants to be global czar. He's thinking about his next job after he's done trashing the country and scaring everyone into some kind of global warming hysteria. Why was this even in this speech? The guy cannot mention the word Islamic terrorism, but he's hyperventilating and needing a brown paper bag over climate change. Wow, that's the biggest threat to our national security? He just doesn't get it. 6 years in, and he still doesn't get it. If that doesn't, paint the picture for you about his priorities and lack of focus on real problems in this country, you're never going to get it. You're just going to want to vote for him and support him in general because you like his ideas and don't want America to be coming forward in life instead of this nonsense with global warming.
Bob, even you got to admit, when he says this is the key top national security factor, his priorities need to shift. The apocalyptic threat is not climate, it's terror.
Well, I mean, in the current situation, first of all, it does amaze me that he hasn't yet used the word Islamic terrorist. I still am at a loss to figure that out, why he does it that way. Secondly, though, I do think, and in the immediate situation, it certainly is not, climate change is not the biggest threat, national security threat to this country. Certainly terrorism is. In the long run, and here's where we have our disagreement, I think in the long run, it clearly and persuasively and without question is a larger national security threat than terrorist is.
There's just no data for it.
Now, wait a second. But that's a difference of opinion. That's your opinion, my opinion.
My opinion
has
facts.
I got facts. You got facts. Where are we going to...
I guess, 1998 was 0.3 Celsius warmer. NASA says the probability that a different year than 2014 was the warmest was 62%.
If you take 14 out of the last 15 years, they've been warmer.
Global pause. That hasn't changed.
Global pause.
It hasn't changed.
And you're suggesting that we know about global pause even if we weren't taking record.
Climate models have been compromised. They have.
So therefore, if you buy into that, you're suggesting that all these scientists and others have made this decision in a conspiracy with Obama to make it the biggest national security.
It's not a conspiracy. No. There are certain organizations that create these poorly sourced data because their careers rely on it.
Sure.
Well, everybody does that. We talk about that with security.
Yeah, they're all in.
He cited the National Oceanic Administration, and he cited
guilty.
a lot of universities. And so,
and there's plenty who disagree.
Well,
And they have facts.
and so do our people have.
But they have faulty climate models.
Let's
They have
agree to
never been
disagree
right.
and just say when you.
I love this topic.
I will still allow you into my bomb shelter when you need it.
It'll be flooded.
You'll need that from Al-Qaeda before you'll need
It'll be
it from
frozen.
climate
It'll be
change.
frozen in. Can I answer KG's question?
yeah,
Why
sure.
would he bring it up? Certainly not to have this debate that we've had a bunch of times, whether the globe is getting warmer or cooler. There are people who think that it's happening. There are those who think it's not. The reason why President Obama brings it up in his State of the Union is 2 words, Tom Steyer. Tom Steyer is the billionaire who likes to throw money at liberals who believe in the climate change and who believe that the climate change is the biggest threat to America. And don't forget, and the other enviro lobbyists, but President Obama has to worry about when he leaves office, what's he going to be doing?
Yeah.
So you agree with me?
I totally agree with you. So he's going to leave office and he's going to head right to them saying, look at what we've done. I've carved this out of my 6 years or 8 years of presidency, and I'm your spokesperson for this. Let's go make this big. Kind of like
making that stick well before Tom Steyer was
Clinton's
around,
got the
right?
global initiative, which touches on this and other things. My guess is he's going to be right up the environmental lobby.
You're
or he'll
100% right.
run the
It's
UN.
his next job. I'm
Which
telling
would be
you.
great for traffic.
Short thing.
Yo, you do have a short thing? How appropriate. I was going to ask you, even if he was right on this, the fact that they haven't even looked at the cost and benefits of it is even more frightening. They don't know what to do.
They might be able to get to some sort of reasonable solution on it. If they did a comprehensive energy bill, there might be enough goodwill in Congress to say, yes, okay, we might be doing something. We should address it in some way. But where President Obama should really give that speech is not in America. Our emissions have gone down. Our businesses are being more responsible. Our consumers are demanding it. And it's partly just because we're better at it and the technology is better. Where he should go give that speech is in China.
Yeah.
Because
they'll love
as
it.
their emissions continue to go up, they will dwarf our emissions. And if it's a global problem, if you do something here and not there, it won't matter.
Exactly. All right.
He's auditioning.
There you go. All right.